afternoon, depending on where you are. John here in Los Angeles, where at best, if you've made out the best in this situation with the fires, it's just plain eerie, disconcerting, terrifying. And at worst, for so many people, it is devastating. I don't do well in situations where I want to speak and there's little to say. What do you say when there's little to say? What do you do when there's little to do? I like to be intentional, and I've been thinking about those questions the last couple of days and the last several hours. And I think the answer is to exercise humanity. And that might be why I have been sending and receiving so many texts from people, making sure they're okay and letting them know I'm okay. And refreshing the same news browser over and over and over again to try to get some kind of information that would make me feel in some way resolved psychologically and logically. And that's not going to happen. This is just plainly terrible. And in situations like that, your only resort might be remembering you're a person, exercising personness. And it's tough because it's scary and it's complex. Some people can handle that complexity better than other people. Those who can't handle that kind of complexity will sometimes offload it. They might look cynical. They might actually be cynical, and that's a defense mechanism. The harder but the better thing to do is to recognize how terrible it is and how little there is to do beyond helping where you can help, whether that's physically in person or in donating to all the many different foundations I'm sure you've seen on Instagram. And if you're inclined to do so, I'm sure you already have or are about to. And I know for many people, this is a difficult one on an empathy level. I'm not calling anybody a monster, but it's hard to ask people for money or sympathy for a group of people who live in a very affluent neighborhood. But I might offer this idea that this is not about houses. The people who have lost the most have lost photographs of loved ones who are no longer in their life, grandfather, father, who without those photos don't exist beyond a memory. So I don't think you need an attitude adjustment, but in my reading some things online, I did have the thought I wanted to share, which is that if it's difficult to find the sympathy for someone who's lost a house in Pacific Palisades or Malibu, maybe your best route, because I think you should feel some, because selfishly, for you, I don't want you to lose your humanity. Bad things happen when you do that. One route to sympathy is there are photographs of people that were evidence of their existence that are gone. That is why you see people crying on the news, not because they lost a house or a painting. I promise you that. I promise you that. So go forward, be loving. I send so much love to Los Angeles, first responders, everyone who's up all night working on this, everyone who's up all night staying in a hotel room, everyone who's making arrangements to take in friends, making arrangements to figure out what they're going to do tonight or tomorrow, depending on what happens. I know that I've been speaking for a while, but I wanted to share that with you. Sometimes the best you can do is just exercise love and humanity so that you don't lose it. Thank you so much for listening to me babble on about that. Lots of love to everyone. Stay safe. I'm safe. Everyone's all right that I know. I hope everyone's all right that you know. This is touching everybody.